If I told you that one small habit, something you do every single night, is slowly damaging your brain, would you believe me? As a neurologist with over 2 decades of experience, I've spent years treating patients for strokes, memory loss, early-stage Alzheimer's, and unexplained cognitive decline. And I've come to a disturbing realization. It's not just age, genetics, or even diet that's harming our brains. It's the way we sleep. Or more accurately, the one habit we've normalized that silently sabotages brain function while we rest. So, before we dive in, let me ask you, do you fall asleep with the TV or a YouTube video playing in the background? Do you stay up late, night after night, scrolling endlessly on your phone or watching just one more episode? Or maybe you sleep fewer than 6 hours and tell yourself, "I'm fine. I've always been like this." If any of these sound familiar, you're not alone. But here's what you don't know yet. These very behaviors may be shrinking your brain, disrupting critical neural repair, and even doubling your risk of memory loss. I've seen it happen, not just in medical journals, but in real-life MRI scans, patient stories, and heartbreaking family conversations. One elderly patient of mine used to tell me, "Doc, I'm just a light sleeper. I only get 4 or 5 hours a night. I'm used to it." 6 months later, he came back confused, disoriented, and couldn't remember his own daughter's birthday. And when we scanned his brain, he had measurable atrophy, brain shrinkage, in regions tied to memory and emotion. This isn't a scare tactic. It's a wake-up call. Because the sleep habit I'm about to reveal is not rare. It's not extreme. It's not something only unhealthy people do. It's a modern, daily behavior that most of us consider harmless, and it's silently attacking your neurons. So if you, or someone you love, is over 50, if you've noticed memory slips, mood changes, or just constant brain fog, then keep watching, because in the next few minutes, I'll show you what the brain is actually doing during sleep, how this specific habit interferes with healing, memory, and clarity, and what simple action, starting tonight, can stop the damage and begin repair. You don't need expensive pills. You don't need brain puzzles or magic supplements. You just need to understand what's going wrong and fix it. Because your brain, it's not just tired. It's trying to survive. We often think of sleep as a passive activity, like pressing pause on a movie or turning off a light. But nothing could be further from the truth. When you fall asleep, your body may rest. But your brain? It's clocking in for the night shift. In fact, your brain performs some of its most essential and life-saving functions while you sleep. Let me walk you through what's happening inside your head during a healthy night of rest. 1. Memory processing. During sleep, especially in stages known as deep sleep and REM sleep, your brain replays and organizes everything you experience during the day. Think of it like a librarian working overnight, taking all the random papers on her desk and filing them into the right folders. Memories are consolidated, emotions are processed, new information is sorted and stored. This is why students perform better after sleeping on what they've studied, and why seniors who sleep poorly often feel foggy or disoriented the next day. 2. Brain detoxification, the glymphatic system. Now here's something most people have never heard of. Inside your brain is a network called the glymphatic system. It's like a sewage system just for your brain. During deep sleep, this system opens up and washes away toxins, including beta amyloid, a waste protein closely linked to Alzheimer's disease. In one landmark study from the University of Rochester, scientists discovered that during sleep, the brain's cells actually shrink, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to wash through the tissue and carry away waste. But here's the catch. This cleaning process only happens during quality, uninterrupted sleep. So if you're waking up multiple times, or sleeping in light stages due to screen time or noise, your brain might be skipping the cleaning altogether. 3. Emotional reset. Have you ever noticed how everything feels worse at night? Anxiety, sadness, anger, they all seem to intensify. But after a good night's sleep, problems often feel more manageable. That's not an accident. During sleep, especially REM sleep, your brain processes emotional memories and recalibrates your stress hormones. Without this reset, irritability and emotional reactivity spike, which is why poor sleep is linked to depression, anxiety, and even dementia. Now that you understand the incredible work your brain does while you sleep, let me show you how one specific habit is interfering with all of this, and what it's doing to your cognitive health, especially if you're over 50. So what is the sleep habit that's causing so much harm, especially for older adults? It's simple: falling asleep with artificial light or noise. This includes sleeping with the TV or YouTube playing in the background, keeping a bedroom lamp or hallway light on all night, falling asleep to music, podcasts or talk shows, using your phone in bed right before sleep, and leaving it next to your pillow. Let's break down why this is a problem and how it disrupts the brain's healing process. 1. Light exposure and melatonin suppression. Your brain runs on a biological clock known as the circadian rhythm. It's a natural 24-hour cycle regulated by light and darkness. When the sun sets, your brain begins producing melatonin, the sleep hormone that tells your body it's time to rest. But artificial light, especially blue light from screens, tricks the brain into thinking it's still daytime. This delays melatonin production, makes it harder to fall into deep sleep, and interrupts the progression through vital sleep stages. And if your TV is flashing or your phone screen lights up during the night, your brain can be pulled back into a lighter state of sleep, reducing the amount of time spent in REM and deep sleep when all the brain-cleansing work happens. 2. Background noise and cognitive disruption. Your ears don't turn off while you sleep. In fact, your brain continues to monitor sound, even during deep sleep. This is a survival mechanism from our evolutionary past. If you fall asleep to voices, like a news anchor, podcast, or sitcom, your brain continues trying to process language while it's supposed to be repairing neurons. That's like trying to clean your house while someone's walking around, dropping trash behind you. The result? Poor memory consolidation, increased risk of nightmares and fragmented sleep, elevated cortisol levels, the stress hormone, even low-level noise like a humming AC or soft playlist can prevent you from entering the slow-wave deep sleep your brain desperately needs. 3. Long-term effects on brain health. Multiple studies have shown that people who sleep with ambient noise or light have higher risks of cognitive decline, show greater signs of brain atrophy in MRI scans, experience weaker emotional regulation and mood swings. In older adults, this damage accumulates faster. Why? Because your brain's repair systems naturally slow with age, meaning every hour of disturbed sleep does more harm than it would in a 25-year-old. You may be thinking, but I've always fallen asleep with the TV on. It helps me relax. I get it. But relaxation and recovery are not the same. And now that you know what's at stake, your memory, your mood, even your independence, it's time to take a deeper look at what the science really says. Let me tell you a story that still haunts me to this day. James was 72 years old when he came to see me. He was a retired engineer, sharp, methodical, and proud of his mental agility. For most of his life, he had been the one people turned to for help with calculations, electronics, and even crossword puzzles. But over the past year, something had changed. He started losing track of names, not just acquaintances, but close family members. He'd walk into the kitchen and forget why he was there, And the worst part? He was beginning to forget things from his own childhood, memories that had once been crystal clear. At first, his family thought it was just aging, but James felt something deeper. He said to me, "Doc, my mind feels foggy, like I'm not all here." We ran a full neurological exam, and nothing was obviously wrong. No signs of stroke, no tumors, no classic Alzheimer's patterns on the scans. But one clue stood out in his sleep history. Every single night for the last 10 years, James had gone to sleep with the TV on, usually watching news or old reruns. He claimed it helped him relax and fall asleep faster, but when we did a sleep study, the results were alarming. His REM sleep was cut nearly in half. He was waking up more than 20 times per night, without even realizing it. And his brain showed reduced glymphatic activity, meaning toxins like beta amyloid weren't being cleared properly. In short, his brain was never fully resting. The cumulative effect? His hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory, was shrinking faster than expected for his age. And worse, the damage might be partially irreversible. We immediately made changes to his sleep environment. No screens 90 minutes before bed, total darkness, blackout curtains, no night lights, a white noise machine instead of a TV, a consistent 8-hour sleep schedule. Within 3 months, James showed mild improvement. He was more alert, more present. But some of the damage, especially to long-term memory, was done. I share this story not to scare you, but to wake you up. James didn't have a disease. He didn't have a genetic mutation. He had a sleep habit that seemed harmless, but quietly robbed him of the most precious thing he had, his mind. If you've ever said, "It's just my way of sleeping," I urge you to reconsider. Your brain is listening. Your brain is working, and it needs silence and darkness to do its job. While sleeping with the TV on may be the most obvious culprit, there are several other common mistakes that quietly sabotage your brain, especially as you age. These may seem harmless, even normal, but the truth is, they interfere with your brain's ability to reset, repair, and protect your memory. Let's go over them. 1. Inconsistent sleep schedule. Your brain loves rhythm. When you go to bed and wake up at wildly different times, even by just 1-2 hours, you disrupt your circadian rhythm. This throws off melatonin production, body temperature regulation, sleep cycle progression. Over time, this leads to what experts call social jet lag, a state of chronic misalignment between your internal clock and real-world demands. Result? Less deep sleep, weaker memory formation, greater fatigue during the day. And studies show that older adults with irregular sleep schedules have faster cognitive decline than those with consistent routines. 2. Alcohol before bed. Yes, alcohol makes you drowsy, but it also disrupts your brain's ability to reach and sustain REM sleep. Instead of entering restorative sleep, your brain remains in lighter, fragmented stages. And once the alcohol wears off in the middle of the night, you may experience rebound wakefulness, sudden awakenings, and restless tossing. Alcohol before bed also increases sleep apnea, night sweats, and early morning anxiety spikes, all of which chip away at your memory over time. 3. Overusing sleep aids. Many older adults rely on over-the-counter or prescription sleep aids. But here's what most people don't know. These drugs don't replicate natural sleep. In fact, some sedatives suppress REM sleep almost entirely. Even though you may feel like you slept, your brain didn't get what it needed, the neurological reset that only real sleep provides. And the long-term consequences? Impaired learning, daytime confusion, increased dementia risk. This is especially concerning for older adults, as some sleep meds are linked to falls, hallucinations, and delirium. 4. Screen time before bed. Phones, tablets, and TVs emit blue light, which suppresses melatonin and delays the onset of sleep. Even 10 minutes of screen time before bed can delay your sleep cycle by over an hour, and the content itself matters. Violent or emotional content triggers stress hormones. News and social media spike anxiety. Fast-paced videos keep the brain stimulated. You may fall asleep eventually, but your brain remains on high alert. These habits are so common that we often forget how damaging they really are. But the brain doesn't forget. It remembers every night of poor sleep. And over time, the cost becomes memory loss, confusion, and even early signs of cognitive decline. In the next section, I'll show you what you can start doing tonight to protect your brain and reclaim restful, healing sleep. By now, you may be asking yourself, okay, I get it. My sleep habits matter. But what can I actually do tonight to start fixing this? Great question. Let's go over simple, practical steps that can drastically improve your sleep and help protect your brain from further damage. These are doctor-approved, backed by neuroscience, and especially helpful for adults over 50. 1. Set a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. Your brain needs rhythm. Pick a set bedtime and wake-up time, and stick to it, even on weekends. This trains your internal clock, improves melatonin release, and helps you fall asleep faster with deeper rest. Even a 15-minute consistency window can make a noticeable difference within days. 2. No screens. 90 minutes before bed. Turn off your phone, TV, and tablet at least 90 minutes before bedtime. Instead, try reading a book, not on a backlit screen, journaling, gentle stretching or breathing exercises, listening to soft instrumental music, if needed. This allows your melatonin to rise naturally, without blue light interference. If you must use a screen, install a blue light filter or wear blue light blocking glasses. 3. Create a dark and cool sleep environment. Your brain sleeps best in total darkness and cool temperatures, ideally 60-67 degrees Fahrenheit or 15 to 19 degrees Celsius. Tips: use blackout curtains, remove night lights, cover or turn off electronic displays, set your thermostat or open a window for airflow. Light exposure at night reduces melatonin and disturbs RM. Darkness tells your brain, now it's time to repair. 4. Silence the noise. Avoid sleeping with the TV, podcast, or radio on. If silence is uncomfortable, use a white noise machine or earplugs. This prevents your brain from constantly processing background noise, freeing it up to focus on healing. 5. Cut off caffeine by early afternoon. Caffeine has a half-life of 5-6 hours, meaning that your 3 p.m. coffee is still in your system at 9 p.m. Set a personal rule: no caffeine after 2 p.m. This helps reduce sleep latency and boosts sleep quality, especially in older adults. 6. Try a wind-down routine. Build a 20-30 minute bedtime routine that signals to your brain, sleep is coming. Some ideas: dim the lights, wash your face or take a warm shower, use calming essential oils like lavender, gentle yoga or meditation. This creates a mental association between these actions and rest, making it easier to fall and stay asleep. Remember, it's not just about sleeping more, it's about sleeping smarter, in a way that allows your brain to clean, heal, and reset. Even one night of restorative sleep can boost memory, focus, and mood. But doing it consistently can protect your brain for years to come. As we age, many things change: our bodies, our hormones, and yes, our sleep. You may have heard older adults say, "I just don't need as much sleep as I used to." But here's the truth: It's not that seniors need less sleep. It's that their bodies become less efficient at getting the deep, restorative rest they truly require, and the cost of poor sleep becomes much higher with age. Let's break it down. 1. The aging brain is more vulnerable. In younger people, the brain can bounce back from a night or two of bad sleep. But in seniors, the same sleep disruption leads to memory fog, slower processing speed, trouble with focus and recall, increased risk of mild cognitive impairment. Why? Because the brain's glymphatic system, the system that clears out waste and toxins during sleep, slows down with age. So if you're not getting proper deep sleep, those toxins build up faster, increasing your risk of Alzheimer's and dementia. 2. Seniors experience less deep sleep. Naturally, even healthy seniors spend less time in REM and slow-wave sleep than younger adults. This means fewer dreams, less memory consolidation, reduced emotional regulation. Without deep sleep, your brain can't store new memories or process emotions effectively. You wake up feeling foggy, irritable, and disconnected. And this isn't just a feeling. Brain scans show that sleep-deprived seniors have measurable volume loss in the hippocampus. 3. Sleep loss accelerates, aging at the cellular level. Did you know that poor sleep shortens telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA? Shorter telomeres equal sign, faster aging. In seniors, this can lead to increased inflammation, higher blood pressure, poorer immune function, greater risk of chronic disease. In short, when you don't sleep well, your body ages faster than your birth certificate says. 4. Sleep impacts balance, heart, and mental health. Lack of sleep affects more than memory. It's linked to falls and fractures due to impaired coordination, heart disease and stroke from elevated blood pressure, depression, anxiety, and social withdrawal. For seniors living alone, poor sleep can mean the difference between independence and needing daily care. So what does all this mean? If you're over 60, sleep is not optional. It's not something to power through or dismiss with caffeine. It's one of the most powerful tools you have to protect your brain, your body, and your independence. And the good news? It's never too late to improve. In the final section, I'll share one of the most overlooked daily habits that directly affects your sleep quality, and how fixing it can help your brain start healing almost immediately. You've made it this far, which tells me you care deeply about your health, memory, and quality of life. Now let me share one last thing. Something so simple, so overlooked, that it may be ruining your sleep without you even knowing it. It's this: what you eat, and asterisk, when asterisk you eat it, dramatically affects how well you sleep. Let's dig in. 1. Eating too late disrupts your body clock. Late-night meals, especially those high in carbs or sugar, confuse your body. Why? Because digestion activates your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight mode. Your body focuses on processing food, not winding down. Your core temperature rises. Your melatonin release is delayed. The result? Trouble falling asleep, fragmented light sleep, vivid, unsettling dreams. Many seniors eat dinner late or snack before bed out of habit, but it may be the reason they're waking up groggy and unrested. Try this instead. Finish your last meal 3-4 hours before bedtime. 2. Heavy proteins and fats equal sign. Heavy sleep disruption meals that are hard to digest, like red meat, fried foods, or creamy sauces, stay in your stomach longer. They tax your digestive system and reduce your body's ability to cool down and shift into deep sleep. It's not about eliminating protein. It's about eating lighter dinners and choosing grilled fish, steamed vegetables, whole grains like quinoa or oats, herbal teas like chamomile or valerian root 3. Evening, sugar and alcohol spike, then crash your system. Sweet treats. And alcohol may feel relaxing at the end of the day, but here's what's really happening. Your blood sugar spikes, causing a crash at 2-3 a.m. You wake up drenched in sweat or feeling anxious. Your liver processes alcohol while you sleep, robbing you of REM. Swap them out for tart cherry juice, boosts melatonin, a banana with almond butter, warm milk with cinnamon. 4. Nutrient deficiencies equal sign. Poor sleep quality. Deficiencies in magnesium, B vitamins, and omega-3 fatty acids are shockingly common in seniors, and all three are crucial for sleep. Without them, your body struggles to calm the nervous system, relax your muscles, maintain sleep stability. Ask your doctor about supplementing or include foods like spinach, avocado, and pumpkin seeds, salmon, walnuts, and flaxseed, whole grains, and legumes. Final thought, you don't have to overhaul your entire life to protect your brain. Just a few smart changes. When you eat, how you wind down, when you go to bed, can make a massive difference. Because when your brain sleeps better, you think better, you feel better, and you live better for longer.